to Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today we're checking out from 1964, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 11. Obviously, this is Stan Lee and Steve Ditko at their finest. This issue is called Turning Point, The Return of Doc Ock. Let's check it out. Peter Parker is sitting in his room, navel-gazing, worried all about Betty Brant. Why'd she leave town? What's the deal? He hears on the radio that Doc Ock is about to be released from prison. He's like, say, what? And he's going back in his mind. This guy cannot be released from jail. He's too dangerous. Hell to the nah. So he puts on his suit and he's got a plan. He's going to go visit the warden and saying, I'm Spider-Man. This dude's a menace. You could not let him out of jail. The warden is shocked to see Spider-Man actually break into the jail. Not many people are trying to break in. A lot of people are trying to break out. The warden not only says no, he is going to release Doc Ock because he's served his time just as has been served. But he threatens Spider-Man to arrest him for breaking in the jail. The nerve on this guy. So Spider-Man has to go back to the lab, come up with a plan. He needs a way to track Doc Ock. He can't just let this dude walk around willy-nilly without being observed. He knows he's not rehabilitated. Peter Parker has made himself a little spider tracking device and homing device receiver. Pretty cool for 1964. As he's following the devious Dr. Octopus, he sees him getting into a car. Wait, who's that driving? That's Betty Brant, his girl. What the heck is she doing driving him around? As the car speeds off in a hurry, it's no problem for Spider-Man. He's got that spider power throw and launches a tracker which hits the target easy peasy. Lucky for Spider-Man, Betty Brant also dropped a map indicating that they're heading to Philadelphia. And here's the rub, people. This dude with the mustache is a mad gangster named Blackie. He's got Betty Brant's brother up against the wall. He's an attorney. He's got a gambling problem. He owes Blackie a bunch of money, and now they're using Betty to try to get her to use Doc Ock to break Blackie out of jail. So remember, Peter Parker is still in high school. He just tells Aunt May, hey, I think I'm going to go to Philadelphia for a few days. And Aunt May's like, oh, that's fine. You've been restless. Have fun, Peter. I'm not going to go because I'm too old. I got stuff to do here at the house. Who lets a teenager go to Philadelphia all by himself anyway? Peter Parker takes a plane to Philadelphia, gets in his Spider-Man costume, is swinging around. He's got his receiver. He's trying to track down Betty Brant and Doc Ock. It didn't take long for Peter Parker to actually track down Betty Brant, and he spills his guts and heart out to her. I love you, Betty. I love you. We need to be together. And Betty's like, oh, I love you too, Peter. And Peter decides once he gets back to New York, he's going to tell her that he's Spider-Man, which is probably not a good idea. Or what happened? Meanwhile, Doc Ock is on his way to break Blackie out of jail, collect that $100,000. These bars holding Blackie in are no match for Doc Ock's arms, and he easily breaks Blackie out of jail. Spider-Man is just a wee bit late. The alarms are already sounding, and right as rain, the cops blame Spider-Man for breaking Blackie out of jail. Like you do. I will have to say, there's some nostalgia seeing the way that Steve Ditko draws Spider-Man swinging around the city. It's very nostalgic. Anyway, Blackie is out, and he's a criminal. He's not going to let any loose ends be walking around. So he's going to double cross Betty and her brother and plan to kill him. So they take him to a ship where he plans to toss him overboard or kill him or feed him to the fishes. Blackie's a real gangster. He starts walloping on Betty's brother. She screams, which allows Spider-Man to hear the scream. He's in hot pursuit. He's got to save his girl, but he has no superhero landing. He busts his ankle on the rope as he's doing his Spider-Man landing. Not very agile, or maybe he did it on purpose so he could play possum and just limp in to the gangsters like, oh, guys, I'm hurt. You got me. My ankle's busted. You got me, folks. But Spider-Man ain't going to go down that easy. He's going to use his webs, hang from the ceiling, and play three limbs against everybody. Basically, I'm going to fight with one leg tied behind my back. But Blackie Gaxton is a real gangster, and gangsters got guns. So Blackie thinks, Spider-Man ain't got no gun. I got a gun. I'm just going to shoot him. He starts blasting bullets left, right, and center. Spider-Man is too strong and quick. He dodges the bullets, but guess who isn't quick and strong? Betty Brant's brother. He catches a bullet right in the gut. Oh no. Betty is trying to save her brother, and now he's got shot in the gut and he's dying in her arms. Betty's banging on Spider-Man's chest, blaming him for her brother getting shot. It's like, hello, why don't these people take responsibility for their own actions? He's there to save them, but whatever. In that time, Blackie takes his opportunity to bounce. Spider-Man's has to go try to catch Blackie. This is pretty gangster. Spider-Man is calmly walking with dudes holding on to him, beating on him. He just acts like the T-1000, letting him hang off of him. He ain't even really fighting. He's wanting to give Blackie an image of fear. He's counted the bullets. He's out of bullets. It's time to whip their ass. And Spider-Man starts throwing these suckers around like little dolls until Doc Ock comes. And now it's a battle between Spider-Man and Doc Ock. And Spider-Man's pissed. These three panels are so cool. It really shows the fighting style that I really think created the essence of Spider-Man. You know, he's super strong, but the point is, if you can't get hit, you can't get hit. And that's what he does. He plays catch me if you can in the very coolest way possible. For as strong as Doc Ock's arms are and as smart he is, he's no match for the agility and strength and wit of Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets his little arms wrapped up in an actual rope and keeps playing catch me if you can, follow the leader. Doc Ock is actually gaining on Spider-Man. He thinks he's got him cornered, but Spider-Man hits him with the smoky doke offensive trick. Can't see me, and dodges through his arms like a nimble bimble. Meanwhile, some goons grab the cash because Blackie is out of the game, and they grab the cash and they grab Betty, and they're like, I'm out of here. But Doc Ock thinks that money is his. So he takes out the two goons. Betty faints, and Spider-Man and Doc Ock continue their battle, but on a smaller boat. And this is the advantage for Doc Ock. Fighting tip to tip, that's his way. All of a sudden, the cops show up. They both better get out of there or they're both going to get arrested. Well, it looks like luck is on both Spider-Man and Doc Ock's side as they're fighting. The boat, which is being piloted by nobody, crashes into a pier, sending them both flying into the water. Spider-Man is able to crawl up, and he sees that the police have arrested all of the goons, Blackie and his crew, but Doc Ock has gotten away, that bastard. So Spider-Man heads home with the busted up ankle. I don't know why he heals so slowly in this version of the Amazing Spider-Man. Obviously, later on, he heals much quicker. But I like this. You know, he's not OP. He's a bit nerfed in this version. Well, Peter Parker hooks back up with Betty. He's trying to console her. Betty actually takes responsibility for her emotions, saying she blames Spider-Man for her brother's death, but she knows that Spider-Man was just trying to help. But she never wants to see Spider-Man ever again because that's going to trigger her emotions. So Peter can't tell her that he's really Spider-Man, and he's forced to continue walking the streets alone in a duality of personal anguish and responsibility. Wow, I love these old stories. They're like bedtime stories. If you had a kid and you wanted to introduce them to a wholesome version of superheroes and Spider-Man, you could read him all of these old stories. They're super fun. They get you up and down. They end in one book. It's very exciting. I'm going to try to continue this series. Make sure that I get out at least one Amazing Spider-Man on Saturdays, like a Saturday morning cartoon for Spider-Man. But until then, make sure you hit that like button for Bad Larry, subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.